Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. Today I'm here to help you decide whether or not you should buy WWE 2K25. I dabbled in every single mode. I played some modes more than others. I barely touched MyGM mode, but I did get through the draft and do one show. So let's just go through this list, everything I've noticed so far, and feel free to add anything that you've noticed when you're playing it in the comments down below. I really want to help you guys decide whether or not you should buy it, because it comes out tonight or midnight tomorrow. Well, midnight tonight. Basically, it comes out tonight or tomorrow, depending on your location, or you have it right now because you traveled to New Zealand to play it early, like some people did on Xbox. Anyway, so we're going to go down each like exhibition, showcase, universe, and just give the highlights of each thing, what changed, things I've noticed, things I like, things I don't like, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is new match types. So obviously, everybody knows about the new underground match types, which is pretty fun. The Bloodline Rules match type, which is pretty fun also. They added a ton of new options for refs to play in. So basically, I think almost every match is now playable as a ref. But you cannot turn off the ref meter. So, at least currently, there could be a glitch also. There's a lot of glitches this year. So there's a ref meter where if you just want to be a ref and goof off and mess up, you have to play like an actual ref. You can't turn it off and have shenanigans galore. You have to follow the rule set, which kind of sucks this year because you can't just go mess around with your buddies. Maybe that's in edit match types, like when you go to create your own match type, maybe there's an option in there to turn off the ref meter, but I didn't check. So I'll go check that after this video. All right. And then gameplay changes is the next section. The countering system when facing the CPU gives you more opportunities to counter with triangle button. It makes the game more fun, to me anyway. So last couple games, there's a lot of guesswork with breaking the combo breakers and all that kind of stuff. They kind of, I feel like they made more of the countering with the triangle button. So it kind of feels like the old games. So the combo breakers are still in there. Obviously, everything else is the same. But when you're fighting the CPU, they tend to do stuff that makes you use the triangle button more, which kind of takes some getting used to if you're used to the old games. So kind of streamlines it a little bit. So I kind of like it. The next thing for the controls is the controls feel a lot smoother than the last two games, especially in exhibition matches. So they just feel a lot more responsive, and this is on the PlayStation 5 version, by the way, not the last gen version. They feel a lot smoother, especially like even online. Like when the game first came out, the island mode matches were a little laggy for me, but they patched that right away. I haven't experienced any lag versus the CPU. I haven't played any PvP matches yet, so I can't speak on those. I don't play PvP, but MyFACTION matches and the island matches versus the CPU have zero lag, so that's pretty good. On to Showcase Mode. Now, Showcase Mode has this cool pre-match video package before each match, where Paul Heyman is sitting there holding the Ulafala, and he just talks about and gushes about whoever's in the match. And he does a great job at doing it, and he really fires up the player to go in there and stomp the competition. To me, that's the best part of that mode. It's just hearing Paul Heyman talk about everything. It's really well done this year. The next thing for Showcase is this year they added stupid timed objectives. Now, there's not a crap ton of them in each match. I think there's so far only one in each match. But the problem with the timed objectives, if you miss it, unless you end up doing the rest of the objectives, it doesn't matter. Because if you want to unlock the items that require you to complete all the objectives, you have to do it in one go. So that sucks. So if you want to unlock anything that requires objective completion, you have to do all of it in one go, one shot, or you might as well just start the match over because you won't unlock the stuff. And some of the stuff that you unlock via the objectives completion are wrestlers. It's like they locked wrestlers. I can understand like creation parts or arenas and stuff like that, but the wrestlers? Ugh. So far, I haven't made it to the infamous ladder match. I'll probably be where I'm not even gonna bother because most of the stuff in that mode I don't even care about. I wanted to play through just to unlock the arenas because last year I didn't make it through Showcase and half the arenas were still locked. I just mainly played on the arena I made and downloaded a couple other ones, but I got my WrestleMania 9 arena. I love that one. All right. Next thing about Showcase mode is there's no more slingshot mechanic, just in-game cutscenes. And this is really cool because it keeps you within the match, and before it would go to like the actual match footage, and it would sometimes some of the footage would play for 5-10 minutes, and you're like, okay, now I'm just basically watching wrestling. I could have just went and put on the app and watched a match. I'm here to play a video game, not watch footage of a real match. So I'm happy they took the time to make it. And the matches are really short. Like so far the matches are nice, quick, short, gets you through the mode a lot faster until you get to that ladder match one. Keep it on the channel. I'll probably make a video of me raging on that one. And then the last thing for Showcase is the match selection is decent. There are some legendary matches, what if matches, and matches that let you rewrite. Still can't talk. I've tried this 1,000 times. Rewrite history. I said it. There we go. Lots of variety there. So there's a lot to do in Showcase mode. If it's your favorite mode, you won't be disappointed this year, except for that ladder match and the timed objectives. Not fun. On to the island. Oh boy. Now I've made multiple videos on the island talking about how we could fix it, how they could save it. There is some good in there, but 90% of it is not okay right now. So let's get into this. The first thing right off the bat is the island is next gen only. If you're playing on PS4, Xbox One, or PC, you're not missing anything currently. Maybe if they fix the mode and lower the cost of the items and everything, then maybe be jealous. But right now, and it's basically like a beta. It's definitely not finished. Maybe next year it'll be better, but right now you guys aren't missing anything. So I wouldn't fret about it. The second thing about the island is it's fun to explore for what it is. Next thing is after the story is done, there's no more single player content until the next chapter drops. So you can't sit there and just level up your character fighting the CPU after you've done everything. You have to either fight PvP, and I know a lot of you guys don't like that. I don't like it either. Or wait till the next story segment drops. So you can't just build up your character while we wait. They probably did that on purpose because otherwise everybody max out their character right away, unless you spend money, and then nobody would play the mode. So there is that. All right, next thing is PvP. There's very limited matches. There's only 1v1, and of those 1v1, I think there's extreme rules, regular match type, and I have no idea. I think there's like one other one. I think that's about it, but for the most part, it's bare bones. If you want to play PvP on the island, there's not much to do currently. All right. Next thing for the island is creation parts are way too expensive and can't be customized currently. Now, I mentioned this in my video of how can the island be saved. Basically, in one of the missions, Dakota Kai tells you that feel free to change the color of said item to whatever you want, but you can't. So I'm thinking that's a glitch, or they just didn't have it implemented yet. So hopefully we get a patch that allows us to colorize all those creation parts. Otherwise, why would anybody spend any money on those? So there is that. And then the last thing about the island for this video is lack of creation options that are available in offline mode are not available here. So what I'm saying is all those options that you have in the offline mode to create your wrestler, like face uploading and logos and all that stuff, is not available to the island players or the island mode. It is a separate online thing where it has a very limited amount of creation parts that are in the other modes. I think they did that because they wanted to get people in there as soon as possible and spending money on the new parts because they're so limited. The damn thing doesn't even have my mohawk in there. Like, how could you not include the mohawk on the island? They're probably going to try to charge me $20 to have the mohawk. I'm like, come on, man. I've had the mohawk forever. If you're going to, and there's like 4 different mohawks in the base game or the offline mode, but there's no Mohawks on the island. Okay then. Anyway, so just a lack of options overall for creating your wrestler. Again, they probably didn't want to make it too crazy because it would bog down the servers since it is online only. So there is that. All right, on to MyRISE. Now, MyRISE is my favorite mode this year. MyRISE is the best it's ever been, in my opinion. The story lets you play both a male and female character. Not only that, you get to make both of them or import them into the mode. I absolutely love this year. For over 20 years, I've made the main two wrestlers in every wrestling game. Now they can finally have a fully voiced story mode together. And you can play as them together and win titles together. Such a cool moment for me, for the franchise. I've been wanting that forever. I've always wanted a story mode where both my main characters could be in it together. And they finally did it in 2K25. It only took, 25 entries of the game to finally do it. All right. The next thing about MyRISE, the only bad thing is it will require at least 3 playthroughs to unlock everything. So if you're getting slogged and not gelling with the mode, who knows, after my first playthrough, I might not want to play it again to unlock stuff. But from what I hear from other players and YouTubers in the SmackDown Hotel, shoutouts to them, sounds like you have to play it at least 3 times to unlock everything because of the different things you can select, like different types, bold and brash, cold and calculating, whatever it was. Each one of those gives you different paths to unlock stuff. So there is that. So hopefully it's fun enough and different enough each playthrough. It does have New Game Plus. That is a huge thing. I forgot to write that down for this mode. MyRISE this year has New Game Plus. So once you've completed it, you can take your same wrestler with their stats and abilities and everything and money or whatever you get in the mode and carry it over to your next playthrough. That is huge. And that's something that AEW Fight Forever should have done also, because it would have made their career modes a lot more fun too. I probably would have played through it a bunch of times to max out my wrestler. So you can essentially have a maxed out wrestler in MyRISE if you just keep playing through it with the same characters. So that is cool. That is a good feature this year. I was wondering why the last couple of games didn't have it. So in last year's, you had to play through it multiple times, but you had to start over each time, which made it a slog. So that wasn't fun. But anyway, so yeah, the MyRISE mode I feel like is the biggest improvement this year. I love this mode. I'm going to be playing it a lot. Especially we're going to live stream after this if I have time today, because I really want to play the next part, but I'm trying to save it for the stream. All right, next thing for MyRISE is it has these cool things called live events in the mode to unlock persona cards, wrestlers, and other content. The next thing is the story itself is actually good. I won't spoil it here. All I'll say is mutiny. Mutiny! All right, next mode we're going to talk about is Universe mode. Promos are back. Multiple shows on the same day. You can have 2-day premium live events. There's a much better rivalry system. It functions a lot better now. Promos can replace matches if the person you call out is basically piss off. Promos have no text or voice acting, so it's odd at first, but you get used to it. And a cool thing I noticed about promos is it can replace a match. So I did a promo segment with CM Punk and Gunther, basically CM Punk calling out Gunther the champion to try to get a championship match, and Gunther told him no and walked out of there, and the crowd is booing, and Punk's like, what? And it just ended. That was the end of the show. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh wow, I mean, that's a terrible way to end the show, but hey, I'll take it. I like how they're very slowly adding stuff to Universe mode and making it like it should. I really hope to God that they bring back the show opener, because that makes a huge difference when you're making these shows. Like if you're trying to make a show for YouTube or something, it's just, it helps so much. So yeah, I love the new features for Universe mode, even though it's not very much. I can't wait to see if they add anything next year. They can always patch stuff in. I don't know why they don't do that, because they want to sell you on the next game. All right, now MyGM is the mode I've played the least so far. mainly because I've been trying to get through the other modes. But usually MyGM and Universe mode are the ones I play last after I've made all my wrestlers, so I can have all my wrestlers in those modes. So I don't really have all the details for MyGM, full disclosure. I'm just going to name off the things I've noticed so far. It has online play, clearly. And a little disclaimer, it says online play cannot have custom GMs, cannot have custom rosters, you cannot play the matches online, or spectate matches. So it's literally just the menu stuff, the competition of running the show. That's all you can do for the online play this year. They'll probably fix that in the next couple of games. It's a start. It's a start. It's a huge bummer. You can't just play the mode normally online, but that would probably crash and everything. I'm really curious how that works, because you're playing against another player doing shows and matches. And you kick their butt for a show. What if they just disconnect? Does it save that, or is the whole thing a wash? Like, does it save it for him and you, or is, like I said, that whole thing just gone? I'll have to try it out and see how this works, because I feel like that's a easy rage quit scenario. Kind of like unplugging the controller for your little brother when he's whooping your butt at a fighting game back in the old days. All right, let's see. What else did I write down for MyGM? Oh, yeah, there's lots of new shows and managers. The NXT Mutiny Arena and title belts are available in MyGM, and I instantly picked that because I love the way those look. So that is pretty cool. All right, on to MyFACTION. I was shocked to see that MyFACTION has a World Tour mode this year that makes it much easier to get Persona cards, at least so far. Like, I was looking through it, and you can get an Ultimate Warrior with no face paint. I don't know why you would want that. And there's a bunch of other Persona cards in there. They're not tied or locked to stupid opening card packs, at least not yet. I'm sure that's coming. But it's really nice to see that you can just play the mode and unlock it naturally. You don't have to open a ton of packs. Again, currently, you don't have to have a certain card currently, although I think looking through them, some of them do require certain cards. But I feel like they've streamlined it this year. So I'll have to play the mode more to really get more information on that, so keep an eye on the channel. But currently, I like what I'm seeing, even though I can't stand MyFACTION. Let's see here. Everything else for MyFACTION looks and plays exactly the same. So, just letting you guys know. Creation Suite. Now, this is my favorite part of the game. This is where I spend 90% of my time each year. The first thing for Creation Suite, and it kills me to say this, is that the face paint, something I've made for my wrestler since I think the first game they've included the layer system. The face paint can no longer be layered. Hopefully this is a glitch that gets fixed, or 80% of my characters cannot be made this year. That's right, most of my wrestlers have some sort of version of face paint or something on their face to really bring out the whole, basically, look of the attire and everything. One of the main reasons I use face paint so much on my characters is because I suck at making faces. I got my face in the game this year. Shoutouts to Mr. Dubs for making that awesome video. Made it super simple. Go check it out. And I actually like how my character looks, so I'm probably just going to use me this year if I can't make my main wrestler, which is a huge bummer because it'll be the first time since the original SmackDown where I haven't really made my main character. I made him eventually in the first game, but I played as some dude in knight armor in the very first game because that was my first introduction to a creator wrestler, so I had no idea what I was doing. So it's going to be a bummer not being able to make Clint Streiser, the guy with the mohawk that you see in the end of every single video. It's going to suck not being able to make his mask that I've made for the last like 10-15 games. So hopefully they fix this glitch. The second thing about Creation Suite, like I just said, there's lots of glitched parts here and there. Each patch fixes some. Some of the parts have misspelling words on it, or the logos look a little different. Honestly, I couldn't tell you because I don't pay that much attention to the real wrestlers' gear. Mostly just try to make my own stuff. Next thing is entrances. For Easy Bake ads, I call it Easy Bake, basically the where you're not having to go in and change literally everything. Like some of you guys want to fully customize the entrance. I haven't tested that out yet, but on the basically the Easy Bake page, the Easy Made page, they have the lighting system now. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in last year's, and that was an issue last year because let's say you pick somebody's entrance or a generic entrance, but you didn't pick like their template, the lighting would be super dark every time you come into the ring. Now you can pick a lighting so that when you're actually coming off the ramp on a dark arena, the lighting should light you up, so you can actually see your created wrestler. So that's a new feature I noticed. Correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong about that. Let's see here. Next thing is some new original songs for entrance music. For me, I always try to pick one of the ones that isn't being used by a real wrestler because I want my own music, you know? So I try to pick one that's original, that's not being used by somebody else. And there's quite a few of them in there this year. I can't remember how many are new, but there's a lot of them I don't recognize. So they did add some new ones this year. And then there's next thing for Creation Suite, there's a ton of new moves as always. I couldn't tell you which ones because there's literally thousands of moves in the game. The next thing is creation parts unlocked on the island. Once again, cannot be customized currently. Again, I hope that's a glitch. So these are just like a breakdown of everything I noticed so far in my 30 plus hours of playing the game. Obviously, I'll get more details and stuff as we go. I just wanted to give you some details to try to help you decide if you should buy the game or not. Hopefully I answered some of your questions in here. I'm going to try to have the footage line up with what I'm saying in the video. I know this video is going on like 20 minutes, so hopefully I can get it up before the game releases. Otherwise, nobody will watch it. But anyway, sound in the comments below if you have anything else you guys noticed. And as always, stay frosty.